So everybody, I want to keep on talking about medical gaslighting and how real of a thing this is. Now, as I'm looking here at the Coliseum, being reminded of health issues, I'm also thinking about medical gaslighting with this whole Yuppie syndrome. Now, one of the interesting things about it is even as late as 2018, 2019, professors of certain universities were being recommended not to actually look into evaluating this new kind of illness. And this was in the United States as well as in the UK. So the concept that, 10, 20 years, almost 30 years later, after the first cases of, chronic fatigue and fibro, Yuppie syndrome, or even skirter syndrome. It's really funny. They actually talked about it being skirter syndrome, which is this idea of people trying to skirt work. We knew 15 years ago that it was related to brain inflammation, microglia activation. So it's only now, in the last 5 to 10 years, that myalgic encephalomyopathy, also known as chronic fatigue and fibro, is accepted as a diagnosis. And we're now starting to use things like low-dose naltrexone, different neurological medications. We realize that there's a sleep component. It's a post-viral syndrome. We're seeing with people with post-Lyme disease, even now post-COVID, is not thought to be a part of this. But the interesting thing was the very first time it popped up in 1984, people were ridiculed. They were said, hey, you're skirting, you're not really ill. And this idea of medical gaslighting actually is not a new concept. It goes back in the 1800s. So I think that's really kind of fascinating. I want to talk a little bit more about this whole lake phenomenon around the Tahoe area, what the actual cause of it was. But I just, the concept of medical gaslighting is really intriguing to me and how that's actually going on now. So the question I have for you is, have you been medically gaslit in the past? Have you been diagnosed or told there's nothing wrong with you? And you found out, hey, there's actually something going on with you. If you have, share below, and I'd like to hear about it. Maybe we can investigate together what's going on with you as we continue to talk about chronic fatigue syndrome and how people with it were gaslit for the first 20 some years of this disease. That's a long time to be gaslit.